Good afternoon, friends. I welcome you all to this. As you all know, Union Budget was presented on 1st of this month. So today we have on the dais, I warmly welcome Honorable Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Honorable Union Minister of State for Finance, Sri Pankaj Chaudhary to this press briefing today. I also welcome Finance Secretary and Secretary Revenue, Sri Tuhin Kanta Pandey, Sri Ajay Seth, Secretary Expenditure, Dr. Manoj Govil, Secretary Financial Services, Sri M. Nagaraju, Secretary Deepam, Dr. Arunosh Chawla, Chairman CBIC, Sri Sanjay Kumar Agarwal, and Chairman CBDT, Sri Ravi Agarwal to this press conference. So without further ado, I will start asking the names, and they will ask only one question. Maybe if the time permits, we will allow second question. So first, Shishir from DD News.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Started with, of course, the budget speech with the more focus on the agriculture and the MSMEs as well, and we've just seen that the launch of the scheme here. The number, in terms of number we talk about, how this scheme particularly will beneficial the MSMEs in going forward compared to what we've already announced in the last budget as well.
Well, on the MSMEs, this is not the first budget. In fact, last two, if I would say 3 budgets have been doing various things to improve the business environment for MSMEs. Even in July budget, we had announced that we will come up with a guarantee which at a personal level the MSMEs can take, and also a term loan which will be given, which has never been provided for MSMEs. Earlier, they used to get, and which they continue to get, the working capital assistance. But a term loan for getting plant and machinery was never accorded to the MSMEs. But we, from the budget, July budget, had announced it, and that is what has made immense difference. Now the classification is also changed without anybody losing the benefits that they are enjoying in the categories of micro, small, medium enterprises. So by widening the definition, we are giving them a chance to grow without losing the benefits that they get as a MSME. And also this time we have given a government guaranteed loan up to 100 crores, 60% of which will be guaranteed. So there are immense lot of steps taken over the last few years, but this year, particularly the extent to which government guarantee also goes to strengthen it, will make a big difference to MSMEs. I'll check up with the secretaries. If any of them have anything more to add, they can join in.
I just wanted to
Secretary DFS.
Supplement. The last budget, we have 2 schemes were announced specifically for SME. One is to provide up to 100 crores for the SMEs under the special mention accounts. That we are getting it approved. And the second scheme was mutual credit guarantee scheme for the MSME, which was launched today by the Honorable Finance Minister. And then first loans were also distributed. And this budget, we have 2-3 things we have the Honorable Finance Minister announced in the budget. One is reclassification, both in the investment as well as turnover, so that the firms with a higher capital turnover and also the investment, they will be eligible under the SME sector for lending. That's one. The other is we also announced the credit enhancement for the guarantee cover that we have announced. And also we have announced partial credit guarantee scheme, which will be implemented by the NAFID for the minor enterprises. This also includes other corporates also, but everybody. So these are some of these things announced in the budget, in the last budget and this budget.
One more thing which I would think that the Secretary DFS can mention is that we have given substantial money for development activities and for growth of MSMEs to the SIDBI itself. The SIDBI, being the Small Industry Development Bank of India, is very well placed as an institution to understand the credit requirements of MSMEs. the cycle of business which MSMEs go through is very different from the large businesses. And when public sector banks deal with it, they do understand, they extend it accordingly. However, when a SIDBI-like institution, which is otherwise a refinance institution, does it themselves, the understanding about the credit requirements of small and medium industries are better understood. So we have not only given them greater capital resources, but also announced in the July budget, which we will be following up, that SIDBI will now be opening up branches in every MSME cluster. So when units are present in a cluster, they don't have to go running to search for banks which can fund them. They can still do that. But they will also be SIDBI physically present in the cluster itself.
Mr. Yash Jain.
Your second question first. Rates have also been changed in this new regime. More favorable rates have been brought in, and more higher level or more incomes in the higher bands have also been brought into the lower bands, so that they'll benefit from a lower tax rate. So if you would only look at the rate charts that we've come up with, where the income bands and the rate applicable to them are also rehashed in favor of every taxpayer. So if you are talking of the new regime, the new higher incomes are coming into lower band, the rates for all of them have also been brought down. So on the question of your FIIs and the retail investors, it is true, and I thought you were implying it in your question itself, that FIIs also go out when they're able to, in a position to book profits. Indian market today, Indian economy today, has an environment in which investments are also yielding good returns and profit booking is also happening. And I'm sure you would have seized that fact also. But I'll also ask Tuhin to say further on it.
See, as you know, the FIIs keep moving up and down depending upon where they want to really park themselves. And it is not true that, the FPIs are really moving from one emerging market to another. I think the general thing is that there is a little bit of, whenever there is a global uncertainty, they would really go back where they actually come from. Largely, I think, as you know, basically back to US. So we have to take that. In terms of resilience, Indian markets have held, although there would be, any demand and supply impact would be felt. But these are the issues of temporary measures. If you really look at Indian economy, because eventually, the returns are obtained in the real sector, because the financial sector cannot really just be in a bubble. In the real terms, Indian economy is in a very good resilience, remains one of the fastest, in fact, the fastest large economy. And Honorable Finance Minister has taken a number of measures. If you really see, it's a very growth-oriented budget in which, we are really firing all engines. So, while there is investments, there is consumption, there is an MSME, agriculture, exports, and investments. So therefore, I think this strength of the Indian economy will continue to grow despite global headwinds. Global headwinds we have to face. We have faced it in the past and will continue to face it, but I think India is in a strong position to handle it.
Anurag Shah, ET.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We missed this budget press conference in 2024, but thank you for continuing the tradition. No other FM did that. मैम मेरा सवाल जो है वो जिस तरह से आपने एक बहुत बड़ा ऐलान किया है बजट के अंदर इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर में FDI की लिमिट 74% से बढ़ा के 100% की गई है, तो ये जो कदम लिया गया है जो इंश्योरेंस के अंदर आप बदलाव करना चाहते हैं इंश्योरेंस सेक्टर के अंदर, जिसमें 2022 के अंदर इंश्योरेंस एक्ट अमेंडमेंट का एक ड्राफ्ट बिल लाया गया था जिसमें कंपोजिट लाइसेंस, वैल्यू एडेड सर्विसेज वगैरह सारी चीजें जोड़ी गई थी, तो वो कब तक आते हुए दिखेगा? क्या इस वित्त वर्ष में हम उसे देख सकते हैं? और जिस अभी कुछ वक्त पहले आपके द्वारा एक चिंता जताई गई थी एक प्लेटफॉर्म पे कि इंश्योरेंस की जो मिस सेलिंग हो रही है, वो अमेंडमेंट आप ला रहे हैं इंश्योरेंस एक्ट अमेंडमेंट जो नया आएगा, तो उसमें ये मिस सेलिंग
के कमाने के स्तर पर अभी आप पहुंचे हैं।
यस मैम,
Am I right?
यस मैम, वो सरकार के प्रयासों से।
हाँ नहीं, बिकॉज दे आर सरकार के प्रयास और कर्मचारी के प्रयास, सबके प्रयास के वजह से, मगर मॉरली डाउन हुआ वर्कफोर्स वो दिखाते नहीं। वर्कफोर्स जब मॉरली अप है तब ही प्रॉफिट का पॉसिबिलिटी होता है, सो मॉरली डाउन नहीं है। आई वांट यू टू also encourage them with your words.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, I'll ask Nagaraju ji, Secretary.
Thank you. There are two questions. One is FDI 100%. This has been announced by the Honorable Finance Minister in the Parliament that we intend to bring the law. We have to change the law. That we are going to intend. The internal governmental consultations we have almost completed. And then we will take the next course of action. Now, along with this, there are also other rules that govern how the investments will be made and the profits will be repatriated if there is FDI. That actually is including the management of the companies where the FDI investment is higher. That also will be part of the proposed amendment bills we are bringing to the Parliament. So once the Parliament approves, those rules also will be notified, so that there is everything, all the reforms that we intend to do in the insurance sector to improve the penetration as well as, and the coming to, I just wanted to add one small point. This is the first time all the general insurance companies have made profit. I think all of you know, this is the Bombay, everybody should remember this. After 8-9 years, this is the first time ever all insurance companies, public sector insurance companies, made profit. Never before. And they are all doing well. There is no, despite when they're making profits, why their morality is down, I don't know. Okay, please increase that. See, mis-selling, we sell large number of policies, both private sector and public sector. Mis-selling basically arises the complaints we receive when the banks are selling. They actually unsolicited persuasion of customers or giving through call centers, making them buy the products which they don't want to at that point of time. And then because the first year premium is higher and people forget about it, that's one. And then there is also a complaint that in some segments of population who do not actually require insurance products, they are also forced to buy when they go for credit. That's one. And then business houses, some small industries, when they buy, when they take the credit, they are also asked to insure their businesses, including the machinery, plant and everything. And then house building also. And some cases where the house owners are persuaded to buy insurance for themselves for paying the installment. But while this has been there, but now if you notice it, large number of complaints have been reduced. Now we have introduced a policy, a 1-year lookout policy. In fact, we encourage our insurance companies to extend this lookout policy to 1 year, 1 month to 1 year. Now, most, including private sector, They are now doing that. If somebody wants to surrender the policy, please surrender. You get a full amount. There is no questions asked. That we have done. And then we also introduced in the public sector companies, including LIC, a callback. Once the product is sold, a callback will go to the customer whether actually he is happy with the product or he want to surrender. That is also there. We have also asked private sector companies also to do the same callback so that the mis-selling is not there. Those who want to buy, please let them buy. And we are also asking in the banks and other financial institutions, only the trained agents in the insurance segment, only they will be able to sell, not others. These are the measures we have taken to reduce the complaints and also whenever complaints received to redress them. Correct. We have, in fact, our public sector companies are doing, in fact, private sector also, we have asked them to up to do for 1 year. Yes, composite license is part of the reforms Honorable Finance Minister has announced.
Next, Ekta Suri from Z Business.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, Ekta from Z Business for all. वो पूरा हो तो हम वो कब तक कम होते देख सकते हैं? और दूसरा ये कि लोगों का विश्वास जो है वो कोऑपरेटिव बैंक से थोड़ा सा उठ रहा है क्योंकि हाल ही में जो घोटाला हुआ न्यू इंडिया कोऑपरेटिव बैंक के, तो उसको लेकर सरकार क्या कदम उठा रही है? एक डिपॉजिटर को 5 लाख से ज्यादा का अगर कवर मिल सकता हो, ये 2 सवाल मैम.
जीएसटी के मामले में हमारे एमओएस वो कमेटी को देखते हैं, रेट रेशनलाइजेशन का विषय और इंश्योरेंस का विषय भी चर्चा में आया जीएसटी काउंसिल में. मैं उन्हीं को कहती हूँ कि ही कैन गिव यू अ रिप्लाई टू योर क्वेश्चन.
जो इंश्योरेंस पे जीएसटी का विषय है, पहले तो मैं बताना चाहता हूं कि जीएसटी का रेट घटाना बढ़ाना, किस पे लगना किस पे नहीं लगना, एक काउंसिल का विषय है और काउंसिल इसको तय करता है. जो सब्जेक्ट पे आप बात करें उस पर जीओएम बना हुआ है, उस पर अभी निर्णय होना बाकी है.
हम कब तक एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि वो निर्णय कब तक आएगा?
अब वो काउंसिल को निर्णय आएगा, जीओएम का निर्णय आएगा, उसके बाद ही आपके सामने आएगा.
And so second part of the question on New India Cooperative Bank घोटाला जो हुआ है.
Now RBI is seized of the matter. Now only they have taken the action. So we are not going to comment on that.
Anurag Joshi, next.
But the point about increasing the insurance, that is under active consideration. As and when the government approves, we will notify.
तो सर डिपॉजिटर इंश्योरेंस 5 लाख से ज्यादा बढ़ाया जाएगा?
That's what I'm talking about. That. This is under the consideration of the government. As and when the decision is taken, we will inform.
सर कब तक हो सकता है वो डिसीजन? में really sorry if I'm asking a follow-up.
You're pressing it too much.
Yeah,
if we have an
just
answer,
one
we'll give it to you.
Sorry.
Congratulations on the budget, ma'am. My questions relates to the lagging pace of credit growth in the economy, and the pace of credit growth has lagged deposit growth for several quarters. Now I'm aware that the government in the budget you had announced for MSMEs you have increased the guarantee cover, which will release 1.5 lakh crore rupees over the next 5 years. And RBI has also taken measures, it's taken liquidity measures, it's cut the CRR in December. My question is that, is there scope for further liquidity and monetary measures to alleviate, the cash shortage which still exists in the banking system and also improve credit growth in the economy? My second question is that, the fund of funds, 10,000 crores for startups, how are you looking to operationalize that?
See, I think all of you know the credit growth this year is very good. I think one of the best years of credit growth in the financial system. We are doing well, including the MSME. We have almost about 16%. In retail also is good. Okay, a couple of months it was a little tempered down, but now it has picked up. Further liquidity measures, I think now we expect the two measures announced by the Honorable Finance Minister in the budget, the income tax relief, that will give us about anywhere between 35 to 45,000 crores into the banking system, which may actually increase the ability of the banks to lend more to the private sector. That's one. Coming to the 10,000 crores for the startup fund, You know, last time when the finance minister announced in the budget, we could, with 10,000 crores, we could actually lend revolving 90,000 crores to the startups. This time also, we are actually trying to leverage both equity as well as debt, and trying to bring our own banks to complement this fund, and may increase anywhere between 20 to 25,000 crores to the startups. So all the startups will get actually benefited.
Mr. Ashish from Maharashtra Times.
भी मन में आ रहा था कि एक ओल्ड रिजिम एंड न्यू रिजिम ये जो चल रहा है, तो अगर आप न्यू रिजिम में इतना ज्यादा लोगों को
हमारा तो ये प्रयत्न रहेगा कि न्यू रिजिम इतनी अच्छी और सहूलियत वाली हो कि ओल्ड रिजिम की आवश्यकता ही ना रहे, लेकिन हम ऑप्शंस को भी नहीं करना चाहते बंद, क्योंकि धीरे धीरे जो प्रयास हमारा रहा उस प्रयास में जो पहले न्यू रिजिम आई और उसको रिलैक्स करके फिर उसके बाद वो 75% जो करदाता हैं वो उसमें आ चुके हैं, और हमें आशा है कि इस बार जो वित्त मंत्री जी ने बोनेंजा दिया है न्यू रिजीम को, तो उससे बाकी के भी आ जाएंगे। तो कुछ विशेष छोड़ के जिनका बहुत ज़्यादा, जैसे मान लो किसी का हाउसिंग का है और उसका पास रेंटल इनकम है और उसका बहुत ज़्यादा लोन है, तो उस स्थिति में शायद उनको ओल्ड रिजीम सूट करे, नहीं तो ओल्ड रिजीम प्रैक्टिकली नहीं अपने आप चली जाएगी। लेकिन हम व्यवस्था को रखे हुए हैं, और बेसिकली आप देखें उसका जो प्रयत्न सरकार का यही रहा है कि आप माइक्रो मैनेजमेंट ना हम ना करें। हम जब हम सिंप्लीफिकेशन की बात करते हैं तो यदि बहुत सारे डिडक्शंस बहुत सारा वो करेंगे तो उसमें एक तो डिस्प्यूट्स भी आएंगे और दूसरे माइक्रो मतलब मैनेजमेंट हम कर रहे हैं। इससे अच्छा तो अप फ्रंट ही हम रिलीफ दे दें, और उसी तरह की प्रक्रिया रही है। तो इंडिविजुअल साइड में तो मुझे लग रहा है कि न्यू रिजीम विल बिकम, अभी भी वो डिफॉल्ट रिजीम है। आप यदि कोई भी खोलेंगे साइट में तो पहले न्यू रिजीम आएगी, आपको ओल्ड रिजीम के लिए ऑप्शन मतलब एक्सेप्ट करना पड़ेगा, तो अभी भी वो डिफॉल्ट है। थैंक यू।
मिस्टर दवे फ्रॉम गुजरात समाचार।
गुनेश देव फ्रॉम गुजरात समाचार। मैम आपका इस टाइम पे बजट बहुत अच्छा है, मिडिल क्लास के लिए रिलीफ की बहुत सारी मिली।
एमओएस आंसर करेंगे, मगर पेट्रोल और डीजल के ऊपर केंद्र सरकार से प्रश्न पूछने का कोई कुछ बचा नहीं।
इकोनॉमिक में बहुत अच्छा फर्क पड़ सकता है ना उसमें।
हमने तो प्रावधान कर चुके हैं कानून में कि पेट्रोल और डीजल आना है, जब भी वो आएगा रेट के साथ उसको कानून में प्रावधान कर बैठे हैं हम। स्टेट्स को निर्णय लेना पड़ेगा। फिर भी आप बोलिए।
मैंने पहले भी बताया कि जीएसटी काउंसिल जिसमें स्टेट और केंद्र दोनों की भागीदारी है और सभी स्टेट के वित्त मंत्री उसमें सम्मिलित रहते हैं, और जीएसटी पेट्रोल पे डीजल पे लगना है नहीं लगना है ये जीएसटी काउंसिल तय करते हैं। और जीएसटी काउंसिल में इस पे कई बार डिस्कशंस हुए हैं, लेकिन अभी निर्णय पे हम लोग नहीं पहुंच पाए, और जिस दिन काउंसिल निर्णय करेगी भारत सरकार कानून उस पर ला देगी।
What भूमिका है? I am telling you, कानून. He is not the chairman of the GST Council, sir. He is heading a committee which looks into the compensation cess and उसके ऊपर क्या करना है, और मेंबर भी है हमारे साथ। उनसे ही अगर जवाब चाहिए तो वही जवाब देंगे, कोई परवाह नहीं। बट आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू। ऑलराइट,
मैडम है चेयरमैन।
देखिए, जीएसटी काउंसिल एक संवैधानिक संस्था है और एक ऐसा उदाहरण जीएसटी पेश कर रही है कि जहां पर फेडरल स्ट्रक्चर में सभी स्टेट और केंद्र मिल करके निर्णय लेते हैं, और कहीं ना कहीं आप सबको जानकर प्रसन्नता भी होगी कि सरकार, भारत सरकार सबके राय से, और जीएसटी काउंसिल जो काउंसिल में निर्णय होता है, और अभी तक एक दो विषय छोड़ दें तो सभी निर्णय वहां पर सर्वसम्मत से होता है। तो एक बहुत बड़ा उदाहरण है देश के लिए कि प्रदेश और केंद्र दोनों मिल करके निर्णय ले रहे हैं, और जब काउंसिल निर्णय लेगा उसमें सभी मंत्री रहते हैं सभी स्टेट के, तो फिर भारत सरकार उस पर कानून लाएगी।
इंट्रोड्यूस कर लीजिए।
अभिषेक पांडे, भारत एक्सप्रेस से। मैडम, मेरा 2 सवाल था। पहला सवाल तो ये था कि कोऑपरेटिव बैंक का जो आपने कहा अंडर इन्वेस्टिगेशन है, चूंकि मुंबई सहित पूरे देश भर में कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स का
आपको ये ध्यान हो कि ये आरबीआई का जो इसमें रेगुलेशन है, पहले वर्षों में पहले नहीं होता था, अब ये आरबीआई के रेगुलेशन में है। और जो भी अपना अकाउंट खोलना चाहता है, आज भी पूरे देश में जो कोऑपरेटिव बैंक है वो सुदृढ़ व्यवस्था में है। किसी में अगर कोई कमजोरी आती है तो रेगुलेटर का काम ही होता है कि जिसमें अगर कोई भी कुछ कमजोरी आई है उसके ऊपर रेगुलेटरी एक्शन लिया जाए। लेकिन एक बैंक के एक्शन से पूरे सेक्टर के बारे में निर्णय लेना वो सही नहीं